My company's called the Dog and Pony Show. We're based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got 3 rooms and then a setup at my house. So we're running 4 Nuendo setups. We do a lot of work for slot machine companies. We create sounds and music for games. And we do some television for the resorts. This is a show that MGM Resorts does called M Life TV. So it's a quarterly production. A lot of the material comes in from different sources all over the place, from interviews with major comedians that were shot in other markets, to stuff they recorded on the Strip with their host, to the voiceover we cut, and of course it's our job to make it all sound like it was, recorded and cut and seamlessly blended into one program. A lot of what will happen in our market is we'll be sitting there working on a feature film project, and a client will call up in a panic and they need an edit to a commercial, and they need it right away because it's going to air. So one of my favorite things about Nuendo is the ability to have multiple sessions open at the same time. So I can be working on a program and hurry up and open up that VO session, make the change, export it, and then jump right back to the session I was working on. Another nice thing about it is the ability to have Pro Tools open in the background, and as another switch on Nuage, and Nuage will flip right over and control it via HUI. So a client will send me a Pro Tools session, I'll flip over, open it up, export an AAF for Nuendo, flip back over, import it, open it up, and I'm off and working in Nuendo. I don't know how many people use Steinberg products versus the other ones available. For me, the biggest reason for choosing Nuendo was cost effectiveness. Running a studio in a smaller market, Nuendo offers a lot of things as part of the package that are a la carte with the other solutions out there. If you want to do your loudness metering, you see right here, it's built into Nuendo, it comes with it. If you're working another piece of software, that's a $300 to $500 add-on piece of software. You want to do multi-channel surround, my Pro Tools vanilla system can handle stereo just fine, but if I want to go to multi-channel, I've got to buy HD, which is very expensive. So those are my reasons for choosing Nuendo. Once I bought the software and started working with it, the other reason I like it so much is it's just amazingly ergonomic. The way I always describe it to people is other manufacturers hand you their software and they say, here's the software, and you work like this. Nuendo hands you the software and pretty much tells you, set it up and work any way you want. You can write your own key commands. If you're coming from a Pro Tools world, they actually have a preset in the key commands that's for your Pro Tools key commands. You can often find multiple ways to solve a problem in Nuendo. My young guys that work for me, when I'm training them in the software, they'll say, well, how do I do this? And I'll say, well, you can do it this way, or you can do it this way, or you can do it this way. It's just really nice to be able to approach an audio problem and have a bunch of different ways to solve that audio problem. One of the things that's really great organizationally is Nuendo gives you folders within your edit session. So right here, I've got all my tracks of dialogue and sync, and then when I get done fixing them up and making them sound good, I can hide them away. One of the cool features of Nuage is the ability to save fader sets and recall them at the touch of a button. So if I want my dialogue, I have it preset, and I just hit a button and all my dialogue pops up over here, or my music and sound effects. So that's one of the speedy features. One of the things that I just discovered working on this feature film that I've been on is the ability to sort of create a custom fader set and spill it right next to where you're working. So I can save like a section of faders, like say I want those 3, and there's a little lock button here, lock left, lock right, and boom, they pop over here, and then everything else sort of shifts down in relative position. So if you're working on a single problem, you can have that right next to you while you work and have everything else fall out to a relative position, and then you hit that button and everything goes back to where it was. So my thought process in buying Nuendo and then ultimately investing in Nuage was, what software is going to get it done for me? What software is going to be the most ergonomic and give me the most creativity for what I do. What's going to be the best mix system for me? Let's face it, what's going to give me the nicest client bling factor when they walk into my room? What's most cost effective? What doesn't a la carte me to death and constantly ask me to buy another piece of software to integrate into the system? And I came up with Nuendo and Nuage, and that's why we run it here at Dog and Pony.